everybody. Welcome. This is the Internet of Unintended Consequences. This is my friend Tom.
And my friend Deb.
And actually what we're going to be doing, we started a conversation about digital citizenship. And if you saw the other video, we talked about 9 particular elements that Mike, and I want to correct myself, because last time I said Mark, it is Mike, talked about from digitalcitizenship.net. And one of the elements is actually digital etiquette.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, digital etiquette it gets into cyberbullying. It's how we treat each other online. Cyberbullying is an example of that. It's how we talk to each other.
So it's like Emily Post manners, right? Miss Manners and
Right.
stuff like that, but online.
Miss Manners online. I like that. That's a good way to put that.
Yeah, and you know, as we talk about this, I can remember the big Emily Post book of etiquette, right? That
Right.
thing was thick like that, and I think they had a new version come out with a chapter on digital
Right.
etiquette. But why is it important, Tom? Why do we have to learn about this stuff?
Because it's how we interact online. It's how we interact in this new world. And it's important that we don't cause hurt feelings, and those hurt feelings can really lead to some seriously unintended consequences that we can avoid if we just learn how to talk to each other online.
Be a little preventive. If you remember, we had a radio program, and a guest of ours, Peggy Parks, that
Right.
talked about civility in the digital age, and that it's important because we actually have to live together. We have to work together, and we have to be online together, right? And making sure, and I know that sometimes, you know, being online is not the easiest way to communicate.
It's not, because it's so easy to misunderstand what someone says online. You send someone a message and then they don't get back to you right away, and you think, well, gee whiz, what's wrong with them that they're not responding to me? And perhaps they're on vacation, or they had a family illness, and that's why they're not getting back to
No,
you.
they're supposed to respond immediately. I think that's one of the unintended consequences of technology, is this expectation of immediate response, right? And it doesn't always happen.
Exactly.
And I think it's also, you know, sometimes we have to be aware that what we write, maybe the other person, when they get it, that's not exactly what they read.
Precisely.
You know,
Precisely.
and we talk about these emoticons, right? These emojis also that they talk about, and trying to bring in some of that gesture, the facial gesture, or, you know, saying, hey, I'm joking, smiley face.
Isn't it amazing how visual we are? That we need that reassurance.
We are. I think we get a lot when we communicate face to face, and we're trying to recoup that from the digital, and you know, we do that through these rules of etiquette. But you talked about some negative consequences, and one of those that I really want to bring up is this issue about cyberbullying, right? And most of us will say, well, yeah, I was bullied at school, I was this, but this takes it to another level, doesn't it?
Well, it does, because it reaches so many people. You know, so that when bullying in the old days used to happen sort of face to face, and someone would push somebody or shove someone. Now we can take a picture of someone that was maybe taken in an intimate moment that was meant to be private, and all of a sudden it's posted online for other people to see, and it was posted there to hurt and to harm and to cause injury and embarrassment, and that's just so wrong.
And you know, one of the things you said, it posts to everybody, right? One of the things we know about these online sites is that, you know, there are no geographic borders, there are no time borders. It just goes out there and anybody can see it, and it can have a really devastating effect on somebody who's seeing something so intimately, they don't want it out there. But also, you know, getting messages from somebody who's saying you're worthless, you know, I wish you would die. And you had brought up this issue of facelessness with this.
Yes. I think we say things to people and each other online that we would never say to them if we were sitting down with them, no matter what our feelings were, if we were angry or upset or whatever, that if it was face to face, we would not use the same language that we do online.
Yeah, and this is one thing that they bring up about the cyberbullying, is that a lot of times, you know, the children don't see the harm, right? They don't see the victim and how they're impacting. There's not somebody crying in front of them. There's not somebody who's withdrawn in front of them, right? So it's really sort of like this hand distance away from it because of that screen. And there's still part of it where, you know, a lot of these kids, because they don't see that harm, they don't believe that harm has happened.
Exactly.
Right.
And it has.
And it has. And the statistics are awful. I mean, you know, they say 43% of teens admit that they have been cyberbullying victims, but they don't discuss it with their parents. They don't discuss it with teachers. It's something that they keep quiet about.
And 35% of kids have been threatened online.
Okay, and that takes it to a different level, right? One thing is saying you're worthless. Another thing is saying, you know what, if I see you tomorrow, I am going to, you know, kick your butt.
Right.
You know, and it says because of that, that almost 160,000 students stay home any day, and just one day, 160,000 students stay home because they're afraid of that cyberbully, because they got that message online, and so they don't want to go to school.
And it starts at age 9. Can you believe that?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It is.
Right?
It truly is.
It really is. And so, you know, and those are the ones that we know about. Those are the ones who have reported, okay? But there are studies out there that say, no, this is more about 90% of our kids who are being affected by this. And let's not also forget the bullies themselves. I mean, it's not just that they're a bully, right? There are some studies that say the bullies themselves need help.
Well, they
need some guidance.
Absolutely.
That, you know, it might not just be a mean thing. It might be a way of them calling out for help.
It probably is, exactly. I think
you know, so I think it's something important. You know, I have another full-time job called Law2SM, and if you go to that website, law2sm.com, we actually have a cyberbullying corner. So if you're looking for some resources, whether you're a teacher or a student or a parent, please go there. We have information for you, and you can follow us on Twitter at L2Cyberbullying, you know, to help with that.
And please share your thoughts with us on our website, IoUC.com.
Yes. IoUC.com.
IoUC.com.
Don't forget the T.
That's important.
That's important. But also join us in this conversation on Twitter and on Facebook. Our hashtag is hashtag IoUC Dig Sit. DIGCIT. We couldn't write it out because it would take too many letters, but we wanted to put something out there because we want to hear from you. How are you dealing with digital etiquette online? Have your child experienced cyberbullying? Is there a resource that you found that you can help? And also don't forget to go to Mike's website, which is
digitalcitizenship.net or digital
.net. Digital citizenship. So make sure you go there, because I think there's a lot of people talking about these issues and talking about how we can be civil to each other online, but also how do we keep our children safe?
Exactly. It's so important. We look forward to hearing from you.
So this is my friend Tom.
And my friend Deb.
And the Internet of Unintended Consequences. Bye-bye.
Take care.